This house cost $500,000, and a judge just ordered it torn down. Brand new. Nobody ever lived in it. Not a safety problem, not a permit problem. They built it on the wrong lot in Hawaii on somebody else's land. And how does that even happen? The crew never surveyed the site. They counted telephone poles. So how does that still happen? In a world where we can measure a mountain from over 100 miles away. Today, the oldest tool in construction and the cheapest insurance you'll ever skip. Every wall around you, every road you drove on, every border on every map started the same way. Somebody standing in a field with a tool answering one question humans have fought over since the beginning. Whose land is this? Go back 4,000 years, ancient Egypt. Every single year, the Nile floods, and when it pulls back, it has wiped out every property line in the whole valley, gone. But the Pharaoh, he still wants his taxes. And taxes depend on how much land you farm. So Egypt had a special class of surveyor. We translate their name as the rope stretchers. And their whole job was to walk out into that mud and put every boundary back exactly where it was. Here's the clever part. Their rope had 12 evenly spaced knots. Pull it into a triangle with sides of 3, 4, and 5, and the corner you get is a perfect right angle every time. No math degree, just a rope and a knot you can trust. And these guys weren't laborers, they were respected. There's a tomb, the tomb of Mena from around 1400 BC, and painted right on the wall are the rope stretchers doing their thing 3,400 years ago. Rome took the idea and built a tool around it, the groma. Cross of sticks, weighted strings, sight along them, and you can lay out a perfectly straight line for miles. It's why Roman roads are so straight. It's why their cities are grids, the whole empire, laid out by surveyors. Quick check-in, we just went from a knotted rope to building an empire. Next, we scale this all the way up to measuring the tallest mountain on Earth. And then the satellite tech that does it today. If you're into this, hit subscribe. It genuinely helps a small channel like this one. And real quick, when we hit 250 subs, I'm giving away a $25 gift card to whatever store you want. Subscribe, drop a comment, you're in. 1802, the British want to map all of India, precisely, every mile of it. They call it the Great Trigonometrical Survey, and it becomes one of the most insane measuring projects in human history. And the trick is the same triangle from the Egyptian rope, just supercharged. You measure one line on the ground perfectly, just one. Then you measure angles to a far off point, and the triangle gives you the distance, no tape needed. Do it again and again, a chain of triangles marching across an entire country. They ran a chain like that 1,500 miles. 2,400 kilometers. They called it the Great Arc. It took decades. The main instrument, a theodolite, weighed half a ton. Took a dozen men to carry. People died of fever doing this. And in 1852, in a little office, the math on one peak comes back. Peak 15. It's the tallest mountain on Earth. We call it Everest. But here's what they don't tell you. George Everest never measured it. He didn't even like the name. The man who actually computed it was an Indian mathematician named Radhanath Sikdar, with a pencil and triangles. Sit with that for a second. The exact same idea, a triangle you can trust, took us from a flooded farm in Egypt to the height of Everest. Same tool, bigger stage. Now, today, we don't climb hills with a theodolite anymore. We've got a network of satellites, 20,000 kilometers up, constantly screaming their exact position at the ground. GPS. And its cousins, GLONASS, Galileo. But plain GPS is only good to 10-15 feet, useless for a foundation. So surveyors use a trick called RTK. One receiver sits still on a known point and corrects the other one in real time. And suddenly, you're accurate to about a centimeter from space. And it's not just GPS now. Robotic total stations that aim themselves, drones that map a whole site in minutes, LiDAR that fires 1,000,000 laser points a second and builds a perfect 3D model of reality. Stuff that used to take a crew a week, one person an afternoon. And on a job site, they run it backwards. The building exists as a 3D model first, and a layout robot walks the dirt, marking exactly where every wall, every column, every bolt is going to go. The blueprint stamped onto the ground. Okay, this is the part that should bug you. With all of that, satellites, lasers, robots, how does a crew in 2026 still build a whole house on the wrong lot? Because none of it matters if you don't actually do it. That Hawaii crew had GPS in their pocket. They just didn't use it. They eyeballed it off the telephone poles, and nobody checked. And Hawaii isn't alone. A family in Chicago found out their home was built on the wrong lot too. 11 years after they moved in. Wrong lot number on the paperwork. It cost them around $65,000 to untangle. And here's what gets me. A survey, a real one, is a few $100, maybe a couple thousand for a big parcel. The mistake is a demolition, a lawsuit, your whole house. The survey is the cheapest insurance in all of construction, and it's the first thing people cut. So next time you see one of those folks on the side of the road looking through a little telescope on a tripod, know what you're actually looking at. 4,000 years of the same quiet job. A rope in the Nile mud, a triangle up a mountain, a satellite over your roof. Invisible when it's done right, and catastrophic the one time it's skipped. If you made it this far, thank you, seriously. Hit like if you learned something and subscribe so the next one finds you. Because next time, we're doing the top 5. The 5 most expensive survey disasters ever. The boundary mistakes, the leaning towers, the bridges that didn't line up, that cost people everything. You do not want to miss it. See you then.